What's up, bruv? Just having a quick practice, so I thought, set up the old camera. Prices of Mesa Booger. I think it's a bloody joke for Australians. They want 8 grand for a 2C plus. Is that pounds? 4,000 pounds for a head? That's insane, eh? We'll put it this way, right? I don't know if you can see it. I'll move the thing a bit over that way. So that's me Randall full stack right there. You could have, right? That's what I'm playing through right now. It's a Randall Ninja 400 watt. Is that 4 ohms? You'd have to try find it second hand. They do sell some cabs, but finding these heads is going to be a little bit hard. But it's like a V2, T2. There's some old ones around if you just got them serviced. Do you know what I mean? You could have, maybe if I throw in the cost of making sure they're all serviced, you could have 3 full stacks for the price of 1 Mesa head. If I got a good deal on that one. So, like, yeah, it all depends what you're playing, but yeah, they're ridiculously priced. Like, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. I'll put on a bit of delay. Have I considered taking guitar lessons, or you're considering taking them? What's up, lad? Yeah, just fucking around on the guitar, mate. Just doing my normal noodling. So I thought, yeah, we'll just do a live. Don't do covers or anything, but just doing my typical playing. How, you know, you start just mucking around with your tremolo picking. favourite mode, well, that would be Phrygian, wouldn't it? Phrygian would be the favourite mode. What tunings? I like all tunings. From E down to A. This is E flat, but like C standard, E standard, I got 7 strings in B. I do drop A, I do like B flat. Yeah, so all over, mate. But standard tuning would be my favourite tuning. Have you ever heard of Wage War? No, I have not. try. I'll try some C standard. That's some E flat action. Yeah, I'm just riffing out. I thought, you know, I do so much of my playing lately has been like, how can I make content for YouTube? You know, what's the next lesson I can make? And I'm not just, you know, instead of like doing something tailored, how would I say it? Like something that's all polished for YouTube. That's more what this live stream's going to be about. That was the video I was even thinking of doing tonight, was just like showing people, you know, like, what do you do? Thanks, Legend, helping. Thanks for helping me so much, brother. You helped me greatly getting back into shape, brother. Awesome to hear. Hillbilly headbanger. Glad I can help, brother. So that's what I thought I'd just show, like, you know, a typical thing, like, you know, I've gone to work today, you come home, what do I normally work on? And because I had a comment from one of my Patreon members was saying, you know, as a beginner or someone's trying to build up some chops and all of that, what should you focus on? And it's one of those things that there's all these different fundamentals, but the main thing is, like, at the end of the day, and breaking it down to the most basic, which is what the whole channel's been about, like my basic approach of doing it. Like, I'm no Paul Gilbert, never said I was, but the thing is, you've got 4 fingers. So the idea with guitar is you've got your picking hand and you've got your fretting hand. Trying to sync those two together, right? So if you're doing alternate picking, which is, turn the mute off. So if you've got that, it's just down, up, and you were doing a 1, 2, 3, you know, a 3, and you got your 4 fingers, and that's, you'll notice a lot of things are always, you know, 1, 3, and 4 fingers, because you've only got 4 fingers, you know, you can use one at a time, can't you? Or you can do taps and all this sort of stuff. But the idea is you've got to start thinking, well, if I'm going to start working on my alternate picking, so you'd have, getting that as fast as you can with the 1, 3, and 4, then do the 1, 2, and 4. You know, and that's something I don't work on a lot because I do more legato, probably because it's easier. You know, 3 notes per string legato. So that's something you're going to work on, legato. Then you've obviously got your picking hand. Now in metal, that's going to be a big part of your playing, isn't it? Like, you're going to have, yeah, I do lives not as much anymore because it does take a lot of time. And this one's not going to go too long tonight because what's the time now? Yeah, 7:52. So I'll probably only do as long as I'm going to be practicing now. So this is my basic practice. So once again, if we're talking about metal, you've got down picking, you've got tremolo picking, and you've got your gallop. So you're going to play it and you're going to figure out, like, if I start slacking on one element of playing, that means I've got to start working on it. So I'll just get home and work on tremolo. You know, start really trying to get that happening. It would be better if you have a drum program going where you can have, and then go, okay, work on down picket. And then start doing your gallops. And so start trying to get all that happening, you know, like, and it's just trying to keep your strength build up. Yeah, I can have a look at some more metal riffs. That might be something, yeah, you'll check that out and you'll be like, okay, what are the fundamentals of that? And then you'll have to start working on that and practicing that a lot more. So, hey, it's all a bit of fun for me. Once again, the whole YouTube guitar thing. Like I said, I'm surprised it got to where it's got to. You know, earned my 13,000 subscribers, but people get busy. You know, from one video they're like, yeah, here's a sub type of thing. But hey, it's all a bit of fun at the end of the day. And it's just, yeah, that pushing yourself a little bit, man, just enjoying it. So that's why this is just, you know, what I would normally do when I muck around playing guitar. And that's just how I have fun with it. And everyone, man, you can go buy a guitar and you can learn it and play it however you want. And that's the beauty of it. There is no rule to do it. There is a, you know, if you want to be on a stage and you've got dreams of touring, then hey, figure that one out, mate. Chase that dream. You're going to need to figure out how to make some cash, because I tell you that, if you want to go fly around, or who's going to pay for the car, who's going to pay for the accommodation, if we're just talking a local tour, you know, you're going to need a van, some type of vehicle transport to get you all your equipment around. You need the equipment to buy. Are you going to have someone who does sound, all of that type of thing? Do you work full time? You know, what are you going to do? Drive to another state? I don't know anyone in Australia who ever tried to drive to Queensland. It's going to take you a little while. So you're not going to be able to work a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, are you? So tell me, how are you going to pay your rent? Where's this cash coming from? You know, it's good to have dreams. Hey, dream on, mate. But reality is, you better figure out how to make some cash if you want to go on a tour. Then if you want to talk about playing overseas, once again, what do? Are you living with your parents so you can just go and fly overseas or something? That's cool. That's why young people can probably go do it. But tell me, how many people are flying overseas? How much does a plane ticket cost? You're going to be looking, a return ticket, you're going to be looking about $3,500 just for the ticket. Then you got to fly over. Who's going to pay all your rent? While you're going, you better have some cash build up. You know what I mean? So, hey, and then if you want to do it as a band, now you're going to have to find 5 people who have enough money to do that, who have enough time to do that, who have enough energy, or all of that, you know? So, hey, like I said, figure it out. It's all, at the end of the day, like everything in life, cash, mate. No worries, Hillbilly Headbanger. Have a great day, brother. Yeah, that's cash. It's at the end of the day, man. Like anything. So, hey, and I'll tell you what, like old school death metal isn't the best probably money spinner on YouTube, I can tell you that much, mate. What's up, Yanni? If I was gonna freaking you know, be grifting and trying to make money on YouTube, you wouldn't pick a genre that was really popular in the 90s, would you? And I'm somewhere between thrash and death metal anyway, because I call it death metal because, man, I'm doing lots of tremolo picking. Gravity pickup links. Don't know what you're talking about, brother. Gravity picking links. Gravity picking. Never heard of it, mate. Gravity picking is in a mix of tapping and tremolo picking, so tapping with your pick, or you also kind of pick at the same time, the dudes. You're talking about that sort of stuff. You're talking about that one? That sort of picking? But yeah, don't know. Oh, sorry, Lee, mate. I won't be playing no Aussie covers, brother. But rest in peace, Aussie. We're not in the tune. biggest influences would be, man, I'm probably more, my biggest influences coming up would have been, like, you know, Slayer, Metallica, Pantera, all that sort of stuff, Megadeth. Sounds different in C, but yeah, that's all of that. And then you've got Deicide, Carcass, all that sort of stuff. And I've never been someone that's really focused too much on covers, too lazy. Yeah, just couldn't be bothered. So I basically can hear that they're doing tremolo picking, they're doing palm muted down picking, they're doing all that sort of stuff. And at the end of the day, you've got 12 notes, okay? Chromatically, you've got 12 notes. That's it. What's up, Mace? So, yeah, you've got 12 notes to mess around with, and then you just do power chords, you know, all that sort of stuff. And, yeah, this is just me noodling around after work, you know, what I would play just mucking around. setup. So right now we're running through the Randall Ninja, right there, through the full stack. We've got, you can see behind me, it's going to be a bit hard to show you. I've got that in the way. So there's my pedal board down there. So basically what you're hearing right now, if we go through this, be able to see on the live stream. So from, which way was that? Yeah, so it's hard to see. It's like a delayed freaking thing. So you've got there, it's like the top row, if I get close to it, you've got a tube screamer right there. Hopefully if I just hold it like that, yep. So the green one, that's I'm boosting the amp with tube screamer. The blue light you can see is a noise gate. Then I'm running a graphic equalizer. So you can see like a bit of boosted low end right there. And then I've got the option if I want to add chorus, phases, the purple one's a flanger. That white one with the LED screen, that's like a reverb, stuff like that. And then we've got this right here too. So whammy pedal, wah pedal, dime style for the dime right there. And that's pretty much it. And then that boosts the Randall right there and we're good to go. So normally, you know, like if you're not doing a live stream, you can just swing around and you're, you know, got your whammy pedal here if you want. Line it up, frickin'. So yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, well, I do a lot. When I do the lead run, I do the harmonic minor. But when I do diminished, you're talking about stuff like this. Right, instead of like, I don't approach it the diminished scale as 3 note per string runs. What I do is I see the diminished scale as doing, or I see it in diagonals. Or augmented is like diminished reverse. Oh, you mean that one? You put on the flanger. Doesn't sound the same in C standard, but yeah, my half-assed attempt at it. No, I don't know that one. Yeah, just, man, I'm just mucking around, having fun, noodling like I always do, you know, and that's doing the channel more got me into the diminished, I would say, but that's the way I see it is in, if you look at the diminished, it's always, and there was another one I did too. I think it was that one. But yeah, a lot of it, like I said, at the end of the day, man, you've got, I don't really do covers that much, to tell you the truth. I don't really care that much for covers anymore. So at the end of the day, like I said, you've got 12 notes, right? And you can start approaching things from, let's do diminished scales and staying within certain things, but at the end of the day, you've only got 12 notes to choose from, right? So even if you can learn ones and you're running all over the board and you're doing legato and all that sort of stuff, like, the only reason you're coming here to the 2nd fret there is so you don't have to jump to the 7th fret. So you'll do it at the 2nd fret there. You know, and then if you're doing diminished stuff, like I said, one of my favourite things to do with the diminished scale or diminished patterns is and then you could do that in tremolo, pick and stuff. down to? I hammer on, pull off from 13 to 11. What do you mean? There's your 13, 11. But you could do 13, 11 down here. There's 13, 11 here. You know, like the only difference is like you're not jumping up to... Then the question would be, when would you ever go up to the 13? Well, maybe you want to do DUNN style with a slide. You'll slide to the 11, bend it to a 13. DUNN would do stuff like that. And the only reason you're going to do that is you can go... C standard, brother. Yeah. It all depends, man. What should you spend? It all depends, man. What level you're at, you know, are you still sort of beginning? You know, I'd probably go second hand. My recommendation for anyone starting off would be find a good second hand guitar. If you don't know what you're looking at or looking for, then hopefully you know someone who knows something about guitars. I'm just an average player, brother. But yeah, if you don't, so I'd get someone, you know, who knows. That's if you're going second hand. Then I would go buy used from a guitar shop that's like a trusted. And you'll know just like, if they've got regulars coming in and they're like, how's it going? And they're talking to each other and they're all friendly, then they've got a good place in the community, those small ones, but they're getting less and less. And then something like a Boss Katana. I think Boss Katanas are just great value right there, and that's pretty much it, mate. Yeah, like having a good playing guitar is, like I'm saying, doing an acoustic, you're not full beginner. So if you're a full beginner, I'd say like, you know, a Squire and a little baby practice amp is going to get you going, right? But I'd say any of these like cheap modeling amps, I know Peavey did like a Viper. It all depends what your budget is at the end of the day. You know, if you've got cash, bro, and you're doing all right, step it up a bit. Get something like, you know, get a $2,000 guitar. Do I know any Pantera? the top of my head. Like I said, my cover days are long behind me. I know some Pantera stuff. Like, I haven't practiced Pantera stuff in ages. But maybe, you know, maybe I'm a little bit influenced by them. Maybe. Maybe just a little. You haven't played Pantera covers in a while. Like I said, I'm half-assed, mate, at I'm not that great at covers, man. I don't really play them that much. But hey, there's plenty of people playing covers on YouTube. I just like to, like I said, there's just something about chugging out and stuff like that, you know. I'll put on this one. I'll have a go at the little part I can remember of this one. Like, I'd have to be swinging around to get the more chilled, you know, like. Because I need to be able to, like, change the channel so it's a bit more chilled. Like this one would be, like, clean with the boots. This one's D standard. Turn facing it like that one. Kick back to, you know, have a clean. If I'm using one of the other ones and facing that way, you can jump between clean and distortion. What's another one of his I can remember? Ugh. You know, stuff I freaking The classic one everyone learns. Oh, here's one. It's freaking you that one like that, you know. And what is that other part? Christian Death Riff. No, don't know any of that, brother. But yeah, like I said, mate, at the end of the day, like if people want to listen to certain songs, man, go put on the CD at the end of the day. Like, I'm influenced by them, but if you've watched my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Thanks for hanging out and watching. But at the end of the day, mate, like, I have not created my channel about covers, which I would probably get more views and all of that, and make it about Dime, and make it about Pantera, and make it about Metallica, and make it about all the different cover bands, because then, you know, it's like you're on American Idol, and it's like, can you copy the famous people's songs so you get some respect? And like, oh, good on you. I'll pat myself on the back that I can play someone else's music really well. It's like, cool. But hey, like I said, whatever. I think if you're starting off, then playing covers is cool. But yeah, once again, this is just how I approach guitar. It's just, not dissing people and saying you shouldn't. You, at the end of the day, you get to decide. You know? No, like I said, all these different bands, Gojira. Man, you could rattle off 50 bands. That means then I'd have to learn 50 different songs. For what? It doesn't really interest me, to tell you the truth. Like, does Gojira jump on stage? And not that I'm as big as them, but if you go and watch Gojira, do you say to them, can you play Metallica for me, bro? Do you know any Van Halen Gojira? Like, what? You know what I mean? So, hey, it is what it is, man. Like, I'm not about that. And hey, if you want to be about that and you want to start a, all of that sort of stuff, then get into it, man. Self-made riff for me would just be, once again, noodling around, like something like, delay on, too much delay. So it's something like this, you know, I just muck around playing riffs like this. You know what I mean? That's me riffing out. That's my stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's it. Just letting the guitar do its thing, man. And it's just having fun with it. You know? I don't know covers? No. Sorry. You got me on that one. But yeah, it's just I like guitar. I like the sound of it. It's for me more than anything. Like I'm 49 years old, right? I'll be 50 in like 6 months, right? So I've been playing since I was 12 years old. So at the end of the day, everyone can go down their path and their road, okay? And covers are awesome. Like if you're young and you're starting off, or even if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, hey, you love Iron Maiden. That's how I learned a lot of the stuff I'm doing is like, the reason I always go to the 7th fret all the time and go, it's because of... You know, all that, yeah, and like even blues is awesome too. Like what I know of the blues, like everyone learns a freaking pentatonic scale. You're in A there. Well, went up. I was in the wrong key there. Well, you know. You know, like blues. That's my idea. It's your 80s cock rock fucking blues shit, you know, but hey. It's yeah, like that's just all my little influences in there. And that's I've had the funniest. I did a live the other day and someone's like, "What are you doing playing clean stuff? Have you lost your edge?" And I'm like, "It's okay, bruv, like it's okay to not, even though I maybe channel about death metal, like I recommend like learning some clean stuff, you know? Get a bit of chorus. And so bring it down a bit more bass in there. Maybe a little bit off the high in there. Don't feel like the chorus on that one. But you know, learning some, someone was asking for that one before, one of my covers I do know. Oh, do what I do with my fingers. Get rid of the delay. That's the freaking too many noise gates. Noise gates are killing me. Thing like that, so. There we go. delay, the reverb, sorry, there it is. That's what I like. So like clean is definitely, I would say, a good that's why I was missing the reverb. I'm like, what is it? It's missing it. There we go. Sorry, brother, I don't know sugar. Sugar. The mushroom people and all that. That's a sick song, but sugar. I do like that one. So, you know, like even the nice clean stuff in major chords. Yeah, there's. He goes off, yeah. Now, because I like the clash of everything. That's why I think I like the stuff, like the more brutal stuff against, because when you like this stuff, no, I don't know any System of a Down songs, brother. Sorry about that. Don't know how to play any. But they're awesome songs. I rock out to them. I'll listen to them. Don't you worry about that. So, yeah, I got some System of a Down CDs and stuff. But, yeah. Haven't learned any, brother. But, yeah, whatever it is, like, it's all major. But then to me, they're awesome band. Like, I love System of a Down. There you go, there. But then that's when you start getting like the minor chords and you're like, okay then. You know, songs like this I've learned, you know? Because I'm not always... Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Like, hey, it's, yeah. But I'll do mainly death metal because, as I said, if you want to learn that, there's a channel that's played that song. There's so many tabs out there now. It's 2025. Like, if you want to learn covers, if you're about covers, there's that many people who cover, you know, they've literally would have spoke to Eric Clapton, they would have spoke to System of a Down, they would have done so many different things. I'm not going to switch on the 5150 right now, brother, because, oh, look at the time. So that was a pretty good play right there. So that is actually going to be me because it's the time I just noticed then. So that was a good after work practice right there. Because it's just nearly going 9 p.m. here and I get up at 4 in the morning. So, hey, thanks for hanging out and listening. That was a good practice, got the fingers moving. That's what it's all about. Having a bit of fun, I enjoyed that. And pedalboard, I did one, if you go back earlier in the video, brother, go back, Josh, and you'll be able to see. I don't remember when it was, but if you can go back, yeah. It's hard to see, bloody, I'll do a switch, okay, let me see if I can do, I'll give you a quick one then, brother, okay, and then I'm dipping. Is it that one? I flip it around. There we go. Now I can see what the bloody hell's going on here. Right, I should just take my bloody phone out of the holder, eh? Right, so now I can see. So here's my pedalboard, mate. So heart of it is this Boss ES8. Right there. Yeah, you're not getting no more tonight, brother. But yeah, so there's the Boss. What it does is all of these pedals plug into this. You can have 8 pedals plugged into it. Then up the top here, we've got the boost section, which I switch them out. That's a preamp. And then we've got the delays in a loop. We've got a Specular Tempest, which is for reverb. That does delays as well. We've got noise gates. We've got the flanger. Got the modulation section. That's another noise gate. It's a whole other setup. Got your EVH phaser, chorus. Got some tremolo action when I want to crack that on. We've got the EQ pedal. You know, shows you there, graphic EQ, pretty sick. We've got a wah pedal. And we've got a whammy pedal. If I want to like switch up different boosts, then yeah, we've got a little bit of a selection over here. We've got the flangers, we've got more boost pedals, preamp, different overdrives from America. You know, we've got them all happening. We've got some more stuff. We've got some wah pedals. We've got some bloody EVH wah pedals, switching stuff out. So that's pretty much it right there. And then the main setup's over here. We've got an amp switching. We've got a load box. That's an amp switcher, KHE. Look up that one, KHE. And 2 notes. So that means I can select any of these heads, flick a switch, use any of these cabs. We've got a Randall Ninja. That's what you've been listening to. You got the EVH. That one's just sitting up there. That was one of my practice amps at one point. We've got a Strain Made MI, Megalift Gamma, Randall RD100. We've got another Revelation, Strain Made. And that's what you're running there, mate. And there you have it. And there you have it, mate. So there you go, Josh. You get your frickin' gave you the full meal deal there, mate. So the old man has to get some food in his belly. Get up at 4 in the morning so I can make some more of that moolah. So you can, I would say buy more stuff, but I don't need to buy any more. I'm good. I got, you know, people are like, how do you get this stuff? Well, I started buying stuff when I was 16 and I'm about to turn 50. So I'm 49 years old, you know. So that's how you do it. You go to work for over 30 years and save your money. You don't even have to save your money. Just don't drink too much alcohol or take drugs and you can have any of this. I don't even have that much compared to some people. But yeah, put your money towards something that you enjoy instead of frickin' just pissing it up the wall or blowing it out, you know. That's half the problem, man. People have got too many bloody vices, mate. Gambling and getting on it, you know. Getting on it, eh? Save some of that alcohol money. You'd be surprised once a year, you could save $5,000 a year. You get $5,000 worth of equipment. You know, once a year, you get something for $5,000. That's easy. You do that for 10 years, do that for 20 years, you've just bought something for $5,000 20 times. That's how you do it. You know, I wish I could live to be 200 because then then I could start saving for all those other things I want. But hey, yeah, one day I'll start going, his hair still hasn't gone grey yet, so hey. And I don't colour it or nothing, but anyway. But hey, thanks, that's just me after work practice. Just having a go, mate. That's what we do down in Australia. So hey, you just take care of yourself. Don't get on it too hard. Don't get into too much mischief. Okay? Go light up some riffs. Go play some System of a Down. Play their CD. Learn some riffs if that's what you're so fancy. Play some Metallica. Play Pantera. Play some Cannibal Corpse. Play some Suffocation. Hey, whatever you're into, man. Light it up. That's what it's all about. Enjoy it while you got it. While you got your health to bloody do it, eh? So, hey, you take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Catch us later.